Hey everybody, it's your girl Pajama with Pajama Life. And today we have a really interesting lineup. It's Oscar season. Yay! So we'll have a chance to talk about the nominations. We also are reviewing the Banshees of Inisherin, which is nominated for several awards, including Best Picture and the Bad Batch. But I couldn't do any of this without my buddy right there. These two guys, David and Patrick. David, say hey, the guru of all things Star Wars. Say hey to the people.
Well, hey, Pam. Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode. I think it's a slam dunk of just absolute joy for these programs we're going to talk about tonight. So we're going to put a full court press on you and be ready here at the tip-off. So how many more basketball puns can I put in?
Oh, my goodness.
Let's find out.
Oh, no. But then, right there is my brother from another mother, the professor of all things Marvel and Tolkien. Patrick, say hey to the people.
Hey, everybody. Yes, basketball is a thing. And if I'm not mistaken, David is a fan of the other team that's playing KU tonight. So
It is a
Pam are unfortunately lifelong enemies of you for the next couple hours. So there we go.
I know. Now, I was only going to barely kind of tread on that lightly. You're going in. Just feed in on it. All right. Let's see what happens.
Well, why don't we feed into these movies and get started with the Oscar-nominated Banshees of Inisherin. Let's take a look.
Why wouldn't he answer the door to me?
Maybe he just doesn't like you no more.
Are you rowing? I didn't think we were rowing. It does look like we're rowing.
He used to be the best of friends.
We're still the best of friends.
No, you're not.
Who says we're not?
She says.
I said nothing of the like, Mrs. McCullough.
I suppose I best go talk to him, so see what all this is fecking about.
That'd be the best thing.
You can't just all of a sudden stop being friends with a fella.
Why can't I?
Because it isn't nice.
I've changed.
But you live on an island off the coast of Ireland, Colin. What the hell are you hoping for, like?
Oh, hello there, Mrs. McCormick.
A death shall come to Inisherin afore the month is out.
A death, huh?
Maybe even 2 deaths.
Well, that'd be sad.
David, why don't you talk about the Banshees of Inisherin?
You know, Pam, my first thought was I do not like movies where there are subtitles. And yet, as I watch this movie, oh, how I wish there were subtitles. I don't know how to speak this form of English. It was really hard for me to kind of follow along with some of the dialogue. What happened?
Oh,
there I am.
There you are.
Oh, boy, talk about the lights getting knocked out of us. That's it. Get the rebound. This was a really well done film. Great acting. Everybody in it's fantastic from a lot of different roles. But it was one of those kind of, if I've worked out and I've had a great workout and a sweat and I sit down, I'm going to fall asleep in this movie. And I kind of did. So between the lack of understanding the English and kind of the slow pace, not one of my favorites. No doubt this will win Best Picture. So that's my lopsided view of the whole thing.
Patrick, what did you think of this?
Well, I thought this was really good. I mean, it was just dark enough, but it had the comedic notes in it that really kind of set it, the whole weird. I mean, yeah, it was dark, but the performances were all super. And I do love seeing Colin Farrell and Gleason together. Like they were in Bruges, which is a wonderful movie. If you haven't seen that, you should be watching that. This was really good. I was super happy with it. I mean, like I said, the performances were all well nuanced. Everybody just put that Irish accent on just so wonderfully that, I mean, it was I didn't have any problems with it, but I could see how people would have problems with the accents because they were very thick and very authentic sounding for what little I know, which isn't much. Super good. And I mean, just it made a really good mood, and it was definitely a dark comedic type of thing, and I really enjoyed this. I thought everybody did a wonderful job in it. I don't think it'll be best picture perhaps, but it's definitely one of the better ones we did see this year, so I loved it.
Okay. Trash.
I knew you would hate it,
I
man.
hated it.
I
It was
knew you would.
horrible. I didn't like it at all. I couldn't stand the people. There was not one person I was rooting for except for Jenny, the donkey. If it wasn't for Jenny, the donkey, and fine ass Colin Farrell looking fine again, like a whole snack, that saved it from an F- to a D-, in my opinion. I could not stand these people. It was a movie full of cruelty, and it just struck me very, very wrong, and I did not care for it at all. So I'm extremely irritated that this, now having watched it, is a best picture, best actor, best supporting actor, best
Completely
cinematography,
deserving of all
best
those titles.
editing. It's awful. Boo for me. This is terrible. So once again, I'm right and Patrick is wrong. He takes a nail on this. And that leads us into the other discussion of the Oscars. This year, the nominations, it's the 95th anniversary of, look, David has his own little statue.
Well, I'd like to thank everybody for this. Is this like the biggest fan award?
For best friend goes to David. Yay!
Well, thank you very much.
But this year, and we've already started off with the controversy. And best actress, one of the actresses from a very kind of small movie. Andrea, what is it? Riseborough is nominated. And
for what? I'm looking at the things right now. Actress in a leading role, she's not on there. And actress in a supporting role, she's not in there.
It was some kind of campaign that they did. And it apparently violated Oscar rules. So there's a big controversy about how she actually got in for the movie. So I'm trying to see what the movie is. But while I'm looking it up, Patrick, talk about what you thought of this year's nominations.
For the most part, I agree with most of them, and I was super excited to see Everything Everywhere All at Once on so many categories. God, that was a great movie, and everybody in it deserves every bit of success they get. I'm really interested to see how some of these things turn out. I was really excited to see Brendan Fraser come back, and The Whale was, God, if you haven't seen that, it is moving. It is so moving. And it is wonderful to see him play that part. And I mean, there's like 6 actors in the entire thing, and that's the only people you see. And it is a wonderful character study. And it was a master class in acting by pretty much everybody involved with that movie. Super good. I've seen, I mean, like I said, I said it back when we reviewed Everything Everywhere All at Once. It was the best multiverse movie, and there was actually a movie called Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And I love Marvel movies, and this was so much, and it was so good comparatively speaking to even that one, who I should automatically be favoring because it's like one of my children. But this was such a great movie. I was so glad to see it on so many lists. So there.
Yeah. And the movie is to Leslie that Andrea Risenborough something.
Okay.
that is nominated. So, it's always got to be a little bit of a twist this year. As long as she don't put her hands on nobody, I think we'll be okay. David, what did you think of the nominations? Was there any that stood out? Any you kind of thought were excited about?
Well, there were a few. I actually have already seen most of the nominations, which
Yeah.
is not usual for me.
Yeah.
And very little of it had to do with the Pajama Life programming. I actually chose to watch these. Maverick, I think, is one. Usually, I mean, if I'm not watching, you're usually the reason I watch things. You give me a list of what to watch, and that's my watch. Otherwise, I'm working. I'm Top Gun 2 being in best movie. That shocks me on so many levels. I enjoyed
Agreed.
it,
Yeah.
but there were shots for shots from the movie from the 80s that was not where I love, nowhere near close to having an Oscar nomination, my understanding. Never thought I'd see a movie that had a marital aid prominently used in a kung fu fight nominated. That was really a surprise.
I don't know, marital aid.
There, I mean,
you can say sex toy. It's okay. Yeah.
Oh, but I mean, however you want to describe that thing, it was also an award for a federal agency, apparently, which I think was one of the
that was
things
funny.
That was super
And
funny.
what she said before it, this, I only get this word because I've seen a lot of BS in my time.
Yeah, it's hysterical. But I tell you, one that I really liked that I don't know if we'll get a chance to watch it, but one that I thought was a really powerful film, All's Quiet on the Western Front. One of the most important books written in the 20th century that has really kind of, because it came in between wars, doesn't get the credit it deserves. A powerful, powerful rendition of that great book in the movie that's just out on Netflix. Really something to kind of keep your eyes on. This foreign film could be Best Picture.
Well, it definitely probably might get international and one of the big awards. Yeah. And for me, I was kind of disappointed because Wakanda Forever didn't get Best Picture.
I'm a Marvel fan. Wasn't that great?
Okay. Viola Davis, the Woman King, should have been nominated over this Andrea. Who the hell knows who she is in that movie? Nobody knows. And there was another big snub, Tom Cruise. I thought, Oscars aren't always like legitimate. I mean, not that they're not legitimate, but sometimes people get in
Maverick
because it's their time, right? And he did a lot to get people back to the theaters with Top Gun Maverick. He, really pushed the industries to have movies. So I was kind of surprised. People really, really thought he would get it, but snub. He's gonna end up getting the governor's award or one of those they give you when they never give you an acting or directing Oscar. So I thought that I was surprised by that. I was really surprised by that one. And but the list, the Fablemans, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
So tomorrow.
I'm gonna reserve judgment. Steven Spielberg, I'm wondering if he will get an Oscar. Glad to see Tar. I haven't seen it yet. It just came out on Peacock. So if you have Peacock, you can watch it. But I love Kate Blanchett. I'm sure this performance is going to be super fantastic, amazing, because she always is. And it's some of them that are head scratchers. And I think the biggest fight is going to be the song category. I mean, you've got some of the biggest acts on the planet this year. And so that ought to be, I'm hoping that that's going to be really good performances for the show. I hope they have better security this year. And I think what happened last year is going to have an impact on this year going forward. You know, I'm sure you will see security at the steps, and you know, you may not have as many spontaneous moments that you've had in the past, because people are just too volatile now. So, you know, I think that's going to play out in the nominations, but we will definitely be watching each week. We will have an Oscar nominated Best Picture movie, and each week we will have a category that we'll talk about. So next week we're going to talk about the best cinematography movies, and we'll go down the list. So you definitely want to check us out and hear what we think of the nominees, and follow along with us as we get ready for the Oscars. And speaking of all quiet on the Western Front, David, we're going to do a book to movie review. So if you'd like to join and talk about one of your favorite books and the movie adaptation, you can join. Pat, you too. So definitely check it out, because each year I do book to movie adaptations of the nominees to do a literary review of the Oscars. All right. So next up is The Bad Batch. Entombed. Let's take a peek.
That's not all we got. This assortment, however, could have been left at the junkyard.
Easy, quick draw. Let the expert take a look. These look like coordinate markings.
Coordinate markings? There's treasure there?
Without a doubt.
Let's go check it out. You heard V?
Last time we went after treasure, it didn't go as planned.
You weren't working with a professional then. What do you say?
David, use your encyclopedia knowledge of Star Wars to hit us with what you thought.
Well, I tell you, your slip of the tongue with Indiana Jones, it did have that feel to it. It absolutely did. And I thought that was kind of a fun homage. You know, we saw a little teaser with Wanda Sykes in the first episode, just briefly. Now she kind of gets to kind of come center court, if you will. And it's great to have her interacting with the cast. I really enjoyed this episode. Maybe not as much as the pod racer last week, but it was a lot of fun. It's obviously we've got a little bit of a cliffhanger, if you will. Looks like we might go into overtime for this one. So I'm continuing to enjoy The Bad Batch. I like season 2 a little bit better than I did season 1. This was a lot of fun in my mind.
Okay. I don't know if I liked it as much. I had to watch it a couple times because I just couldn't hang in there. Yeah. And I think it was an Easter egg or another homage. The actual treasure, did it remind you all of something? I tell you, it looked exactly like the cylinders for The Fifth Element.
Yeah.
I was like, no, y'all didn't take that from them, did you? But I guess, you know, they borrowed so heavily from Indiana Jones. Even the music is kind of Indiana Jones music. And so I was just hoping for something a little more original. And then they had a kaiju You know,
There
so
you
I
go.
was like,
That's what I was going to talk about.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, they just threw everything in there. This and the little thing got zapped, and I didn't like that. That was like, no, not the little thing. But and so not my favorite, but you know, it's fun to have these kind of filler episodes as opposed to the mythology thread episodes. Pat, what'd you think?
Oh, I liked it. Like you kind of touched on, it was wonderful to see Mecha Godzilla show up there towards
Yeah.
the end. And I was like, nice, with the same kind of blast of whatever fire that it would shoot out. I was like, nice. This is, it was fun. It was very, as I thought Indiana Jones too.
Yeah.
As I was watching it, I mean, you couldn't help but make the comparisons.
Yeah.
We're seeking a treasure. There's booby traps, that if you don't get right, I mean, and then the kaiju at the end, I was like, hell yeah, it was good. I loved it.
And I mean, it's something fun for the kids. I didn't like kind
I'm not
of
a kid. I loved it.
the situation with the little android. I mean, the little robot dude. But they kind of explained it away. But a lot of action, a lot of adventure, and the great Wanda Sykes. So I'm hoping she's a steady role. And I like that they had Omega kind of like, oh, it's a girl. I mean, it was kind of like, I want to bond. She's a girl. I want to talk to her more. And she's, so that was kind of cute to see her admiring another female soldier. So that was kind of neat. But I think everybody can say this is one for the whole family and people will enjoy it. So check out Bad Batch. Don't check out the Banshees of Inisherin.
Unless you like good movies.
Terrible. Okay. So next time we will come back and cover the new Netflix movie. We're celebrating Black History Month as well. So each week we will have African American themed movies. And next week is the Disney Plus premiere of Wakanda Forever. So we, of course, will review that, as well as the Netflix Guess Who's Coming to Dinner remake. You people. And, of course, Bad Batch, along with our cinematography nomination. So a bunch to take, a bunch to watch, and a bunch to have fun with. So definitely come back next week. Okay, guys, is there anything else you want to talk about before we say goodbye to the people? David, how about you?
Just want to wish everybody a wonderful Oscar season. Check them out. Go see these movies and see if your opinion compares with our opinions. This will be a lot of fun.
Yep. Patrick, how about you? Anything you want to talk about before we say goodnight?
No, I ain't got much to say. I mean, listen to me, don't listen to Pam, and there we go. So that's my words of wisdom for you kids at home. Listen to me if you like good movies. Don't listen to Pam.
Disagree. If you like great movies, you will listen to me. And definitely come back and check us out. And also check out our trailer reviews. We're having trailer reviews now, separate, and you can check them out as shorts. And so we look forward to seeing you all next time. Take care.